Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Dick. We're the Annuity Guys.
Dick, today we're looking at whether or not what the hybrid annuity, ETFs, which are exchange-traded
funds,
and mutual funds, what they all kind of have in common. You can buy them from me, right?
Yes, they can get them from us.
Thank you very much.
So, Eric, the biggest complaint that we hear about annuities would be very common to mutual funds and exchange-traded funds, and that is complicated, sophisticated.
But I can just go out to E-Trade, click the button, I can buy mutual funds. I click the button, I can buy, ETFs. But it can't be complicated. I can just click a button and buy.
But Eric, you didn't read the prospectus.
Ooh, nobody reads the prospectus.
Well, should they read the annuity contract? Of course. Yeah, you should, Eric.
They're 200 pages. I don't have time to read 200 pages on every mutual fund.
And that's the point. Yeah. We've gotten so familiar, folks, with mutual funds and ETFs, this type of thing, but they typically have 200-page prospectus, anywhere from, I was just looking at an ETF on a S&P index, and 80 pages on it, on that prospectus.
It can't be complicated. It's an index ETF. They're just buying.
Yeah, exactly. So what you really, when you start really comparing these products, they have fees in common. Yeah. Some annuities do not have fees, but a lot of them do, and especially, a lot of the hybrids with the income riders. But pretty much all ETFs, all mutual funds have fees. Yeah. And then you start looking at the amount of annuities that are available for folks to choose from. There's literally thousands, and even thousands of hybrid annuities. How many mutual funds?
Oh, there's not that many. I
think there's about 14,000, maybe 12, 14,000 mutual funds.
It's an insanely
thousands of ETFs.
Large number of mutual funds.
Exactly.
ETFs are becoming just about as bad. And when people are trying to make choices, who do they turn to typically? But they turn to a professional.
Right.
Whether it be a piece of software that is put out by E-Trade, Ameritrade, where
sure.
Not that there's an incentive to get you to buy anything, because they're not charging you a fee to buy. Oh, well, I guess they are.
Sometimes they are.
So maybe that billions of dollars they're investing to help you make a decision on what to buy.
There may be some bias.
There may be some incentive to get you to buy something.
That's another thing that's in common with annuities. There's usually a financial incentive to sell an annuity.
So they have those things in common.
Yes.
Yes, it's all in the benefit of somebody that you actually purchase a product.
Well, and this is where, when there really is a true level of sophistication in ETFs, mutual funds, annuities, and there's thousands of choices in all of these financial products. It does help to get some level of guidance. Even if you're going to go it on your own to a large degree, you still want to have some level of guidance and understanding, and especially initially learning the ropes on these things. And then for a lot of folks, they really want to work with a specialist that just kind of walks them through this. It's not their expertise in life.
Well, and the annuity world hasn't gone the way of the investment world yet, where it's the direct-to-consumer model where you can pick and choose and buy what you want.
Yes.
And so I think thus some people try to make maybe annuities more complicated than they should be.
Sure.
Because you have to come to me to buy it,
right,
and I'm the expert. Well,
right. You
know what? Our job is just like it is if we were in the mutual fund world. Our job is to help you narrow down the choices that are the best for you, and by doing that, we're adding our value add to help you get what fits your needs and your requirements.
Well, exactly. And I think this is one of the things, Eric, that folks do get frustrated with on the internet. They go out, they look at annuities, they compare annuities, they do their best to understand them, but there's not as much information on annuities. And it's purposeful by the companies that actually sell the annuities because of the way they're regulated, and that an agent actually has to eventually help somebody with the purchase of an annuity. So it is a little bit more difficult to get the information that folks need. And at some point they realize, wow, I'm going to actually have to work with somebody to get this done.
Exactly. But and this is where an annuity is a different product than a security.
That's true.
I mean, this is where it's it's typically asking the questions. Hey, how long do you want your retirement income to last? Just a couple days. A couple.
Yes.
And so here you're talking about guarantees on the annuity side versus non-guarantees on the mutual fund and ETF side.
Well, and now we're getting into those factors that they don't have in common.
Oh, sorry. I'm scratching at the income and not income.
But guarantees, that's the big difference between the ETFs and the mutual funds and the annuities.
Yeah.
The annuities have guarantees.
Right.
And that's a big separating factor.
Right. I mean, and that's when you're getting to retirement, how secure do you want to be that your retirement income is going to be there? Yes, annuities don't have the upside potential that ETFs and mutual funds do. Well, what you're trading for that potential and that growth potential is you're getting guarantees.
And you're getting rid of the downside risk.
Okay, so you want the higher ceiling or the lower floor, so to speak. Where do you want the floor, the foundation to be? As we talked about, foundational income. How do you want that basic floor to be set up?
Well, and I do think that there's this transition that folks go through in life, which is what we experience when we talk to people every day, and that is that there's different times in their life when investing and taking that risk and going for that upside potential makes a lot of sense. And then there's this transition where at least a portion of the portfolio, folks start to believe that they want security.
Yes, and I think when you're getting to retirement, security is probably first and foremost, and that's when annuities start to really make more sense.
Absolutely.
And it's not that ETFs and or mutual funds don't make sense, they're just probably not going to be that foundational income portion.